Are you a hero if you're paid for what you do? What makes someone a hero? Why are we calling essential workers heroes? But, before we get started, welcome Earthlings to Redditamin, a channel dedicated to popular and trending topics as well as tricks and tips to manage your daily life and relationships. Click like and subscribe and I promise you won't be abducted by aliens while you sleep. On subreddit Unpopular Opinion, opines, hero is an overused term. Here in the United States, many call anyone who joined the military, worked as a firefighter, paramedic or a cop a hero. I respectfully disagree. Putting on a uniform doesn't make you a hero. It takes actions. FYI, I served 4 years in the US Navy. I'm not a hero. Top comments are, I feel ya. I work in a factory and when people start praising essential workers I mention that I'm essential and explain what I do and they just get this weird look on their face. It seems like the general public has this idea that the only essential workers were cops, healthcare workers and firefighters. I'm a Marine and I'm not a hero. A hero is someone that does something or goes beyond what they are paid to do, so I'm not a hero, because if I wasn't paid I wouldn't be a Marine. Same with cops and firefighters, but if a service member, cop or a firefighter goes beyond their job title then they are a hero. What about risking getting COVID in a hospital? I'm referring to the nurses and doctors that do that thing. Not heroes. It's their job. They are exposed to contagious things all the time. This isn't that bad. And it doesn't even take courage or bravery, you just have to walk into the building. I'm a Marine veteran and agree with the fact that I'm not a hero just because I served, but I am absolutely taking military veteran discounts everywhere I can. Home Depot, Lowe's, etc. It saved me thousands of dollars. It's not called hero discount. I think a lot of these companies, government, people in power, etc. throw out the hero phrase to make it look like they actually care about their employees' workers' military. So society actually believes these people are taken care of when in reality, the higher-ups see them as expendable. I disagree. I wouldn't do any of those jobs because it worries me too much to see people hurt, especially women and children. Therefore I think they are heroes because they do things most of our population won't or can't do. Even doctors and nurses are heroes, the ones that are corrupted by Big Pharma. I think it's a matter of perspective. All true. Heroism comes from action or maybe a willingness to act, but just being part of a group doesn't make you one. I may go as far as to say you can't be a hero at your job because you get paid for it, but then, I think many doctors are heroes. They dedicate their lives to learning a skill and researching topics to improve humanity and save lives. Every time they're not working, it's like a huge disservice, and the work they do has so much value and so much impact, that it's hard for me not to think of them as such. Also, you're not a hero for losing weight, playing basketball, or working with kids. I think definition 2 of hero is a role model, but I prefer the term, role model, to hero. Not sure how that came about. Do you know someone you think of as a hero? I'd say about 90% of the time the word hero is used, the person described isn't a real hero. It's become an overused adjective that's used to describe anyone who does something helpful. What makes you and everyone else serving our country and communities a hero is that putting on a uniform makes you a target. It's a job of risk and sacrifice for others. Always has been and always will be. Donning a uniform in service to this country and communities even as a mere floor sweeper still says you are willing to step up and sacrifice your life for every citizen in this country. Putting on a uniform for service symbolizes you want to help and make a positive difference for the people of this country. There is something noble about those who serve because you stepped up to serve your community and country instead of stepping up for self-serving interests. Even if your service was for selfish reasons, you put your life at risk during your service. So you can downplay your service and excuse it away, but know you have my thanks, admiration and respect. 14 years, 9 months, 25 days in the Air Force, I wouldn't count myself as a hero either. I signed up to do a job, I wasn't on the front lines, my life was seldom in any danger that whole time. All I did was fix planes 10 to 12 hours a day then go home. First responders on the other hand, I have no issues calling them heroes. Many of them put their own lives in danger whenever they get called to an event. Salute to those men and women. Served 5 in Army. I also am not a hero. I usually consider those that don't make it home heroes. Do you think essential workers should be called heroes? They fulfill the highest level of service to our country. A lot of heroes don't consider themselves heroes, they are just doing what they think is the right thing. No, don't call me a hero. Do you know who the real heroes are? The guys who wake up every morning, and go into their normal jobs, and get a distress call from the commissioner, and take off their glasses and change into capes and fly around fighting crime. Those are the real heroes. Per an article in The Atlantic, one grocery store worker doesn't like to be referred to as a hero. She says she's grateful to be acknowledged for the risky work she's doing, but unlike medical personnel and emergency responders, I didn't sign up for potentially life-threatening work. Cashiers and shelf stockers and delivery truck drivers aren't heroes. They're victims. To call them heroes is to justify their exploitation. By praising the blue-collar workers' public service, the progressive consumer is assuaged of her cognitive dissonance. Many of our country's essential workers don't have a savings account or a second income or a family member to fall back on. They can't shelter in place while working from home or collecting unemployment. Instead of calling supermarket cashiers heroes, she wishes we would make our shopping trips more quick and efficient. Cut the small talk and get the heck out of the store, in other words. A statnews.com article reads, calling healthcare workers heroes harms all of us. Apparently this term is making the jobs of healthcare workers harder. They are engaged in heroic actions like treating huge numbers of very sick people without sufficient personal protective equipment, losing colleagues, living in isolation from loved ones, all with compassion and courage. But at the end of the day, they are just people. The firefighters who died on 9/11 are remembered as heroes, and they were brave and selfless. However, they were also victims of inadequate protective gear and inadequate communication. So please, change your language. Actions are heroic, but people are people.
Whoa. Good catch.
Should we call people who risk their lives as part of their job something else? When I think of a hero, I think of a citizen rushing into a burning building and carrying out a small child or a family member who cares for a loved one with dementia. They are not compensated for their actions. They have empathy for other people and are willing to put themselves in harm's way or make sacrifices for others. Labeling essential workers as heroes should only be done if we plan to treat them like heroes. We can remember they have families, feelings, and are concerned about their own health. For companies that employ essential workers, are the workers compensated fairly, and do they have what they need to do their jobs safely? A recent example of a heroic deed happened in Phoenix, Arizona in January 2020. A high school student named Salim Muhammad was working out in the school's gym when 2 girls ran in and asked for help. A teacher had fallen unconscious to the ground and her heart stopped beating. Salim followed the girls to where she had fallen and started chest compressions. He performed CPR for 5 minutes with the help of a 911 operator until she regained consciousness. He learned CPR in a health class and said it's just a normal thing. Everybody should know how to do it. It was easy. He's studying auto collision, by the way, and never thought he would use the CPR training.
That's when homeowner Jose Guzman arrives home and runs right up to the firefighters. A few moments later, Guzman sprints right into the flames.
Somebody help me!
The fire continues to rage, and firefighters call to Guzman to come out. Moments later, he emerges from the wall of flames, and with him is the family's beloved dog, Giovanna.
All right. Oh. He got hurt, man. Come here. Rescued his dog.
Guzman later toured the ashes of the home.
We love that dog, and And I'm pretty sure there's people out there that would probably do the same thing I did. All I wanted is to get my dog. So I came in here, I didn't hesitate.
Tell us if you're an essential worker and how you feel about being called a hero. Please share this video with an essential worker or someone who cares about them. Drop a comment, click like and subscribe to be notified when I post a new video. Stay awesome and safe.
Þakka þér fyrir að horfa á myndbandið mitt. Vinsamlegast smelltu á líkaðu og gerðu áskrifandi að framtíðar myndböndum.